Hello and welcome to LGU Monthly, the show that keeps you up to date with all the action from the ladies' amateur game across Great Britain and Ireland. Coming up, we have all the action from the girls' home international matches. A club founded the same year as the Ladies Golf Union, West Kilbride, hosts the Girls' British Open Amateur Championships. And the venue for the first ever Ryder Cup in Britain plays host to the British Ladies Stroke Play Championship. First, we're going to head to the east coast of Scotland for the girls' home international matches. Lanark Golf Club played host to the stars of the future of the British and Irish game. The event has been dominated by England, who had not lost this title since 2007, when a Scotland team that included the likes of Carly Booth and Pamela Pretwell took the title. No pressure then.
The girls are really sort of quite excited. It's something they look forward to and they always want to get in the team. So yeah, it's something that they do look forward to. It's part of their schedule. They want to get involved in it.
In 2014, Ireland came the closest for many years, losing out by half a point, and were looking to push England to the wire again. Under the guidance of Gemma Butler, several new names would be brought into the Irish team. But they would still have the experience of 17-year-old Olivia Mahaffey, fresh from her Scottish stroke play victory. Having beaten Scotland on the opening day, they would face Wales in the second round of matches, who were still in high spirits despite losing heavily to England 8-1 in their first match. They pushed Ireland hard in the opening foursome matches, but only the pairing of Nicola Wainwright and Sadie De Winton-Davies could come away with a win. Two up against Julie McCarthy and Elisa Corcoran.
It means a lot, you know, it's how many people in the country and then you've been picked.
Yeah.
And then you win a match, so
It feels great.
it's really good.
They again started well in the singles with a superb putting display, but the young Welsh team would let close matches slip through their fingers as a hungry Irish team dominated. Only Ella Griffiths could take a win for Wales 2-1 over Lisa O'Shea. The exuberance of youth had to be tempered by the Irish captain, as her young charges performed magnificently with a fine putting display of their own. Elisa Corcoran, one of the rookies, showed she was up to the pressure with a stunning putt on the final hole to win 2 up against Bethan Morris. 7-2 the final margin of victory for Ireland.
Oh, it's unbelievable, the experience I'm getting. It's my first homes and just to even get picked was unbelievable. I'm still over the moon about it, so being here with all the girls, really enjoying it and it's going well so far.
Next up, England, who the Irish team captain had been keeping a close eye on.
But they had a good win yesterday, they had a good 8-1 victory, so we're keeping an eye on the number of matches they win, and considering they pipped us by half a point last year, we're keeping a close eye.
England's name has been dominant on the Stroyan Cup for the last 7 years. Chris Pascal has captained them to victory several times and has been meticulous with the girls' preparation. After an emphatic win on day 1 over Wales, Scotland would prove a much tougher proposition. Having lost 6-3 to Ireland on the opening day, they pushed England hard on day 2. Having finished bottom of the pile in 2014, there were signs of marked improvement in 2015. Emma Allen would seal the victory for England on the 18th with a 1-up win over a dogged Gillian Farrell.
It's the best match play event that we'll ever play. It's so much fun. It's like we've got such a tight-knit team, all the girls having so much fun. Yeah, it's just the best match play event.
And how important would Emily Toy's half point be come the day of reckoning on day 3 as England took the win 5.5 to 3.5.
Ireland will want to beat us. because in the last few years we've just pipped them, so they'll want to get revenge on us. So it'll be an exciting day tomorrow.
So could England continue their winning streak and make it 8 in a row, or would Ireland finally break the stranglehold on the Stroyan Cup? It was perfect conditions for the final day. England sent out the strong pairing of Elizabeth Pryor and Emma Allen in the opening match, their record played 2 wins from 2. From the start, they put the Irish pair of Sierra Casey and Lisa O'Shea under pressure and were 4 up at the turn with a majestic putting display. The Irish pair did get one back at the 11th, but a superb par putt from Allen on the 12th saw the 4-up lead restored as the English pair took the first point of the day. The Irish pair of Annabelle Wilson and Mairead Martin would square the match at a point apiece. Like Pryor and Allen, they would be 4 up at the turn. But there was no mercy shown to Eloise Healy and Emily Toy as they took the match 6-4. The final match was a cracker. Samantha Fuller and Holly Muse had been 3 up after 6 holes against Olivia Mahaffey and Julie McCarthy, only to see the Irish pair fight back as the match ebbed and flowed. A par save in 15 meant the English pair would be guaranteed a half point. Having won the 16th, a stunning approach on 17 from McCarthy again put the English pairing under pressure. But as the saying goes, anything you can do, I can do better. It had been England's morning. The hole would be halved and England would take the match 2-1, and a slender advantage going into the afternoon singles. Again, England made a fast start. 15-year-old Holly Muse was a member of the 2014 winning team. Her record going into the final singles match was 5 wins from 5 matches. A run of 5 straight wins from the third put her 5 up at the turn against Annabelle Wilson. At the 13th, the Irish girl found herself in some trouble but played one of the shots of the week. It was too little too late for the 14-year-old from Lanark Golf Club. Muse continued her fine putting performance to take the win 6-5. Annabelle Bailey would take 1 extra hole as she put England within touching distance, now needing just 1 more point to take the trophy for an 8th time. 6-4 her winning margin over Julie McCarthy. Olivia Mahaffey was 4 from 4 going into the match with England. That record had been dented in the morning foursomes. But normal business was resumed in the afternoon as she beat the highly experienced Alice Hewson 5-4. Samantha Fuller with a putt on the 14th would see her 4 up with 4 to play against Mairead Martin. England now couldn't be beaten as a half point would see them take the title. Even if Ireland won all the remaining matches, England would still win on countback. 1 hole later though, and it was all over and England had sealed the win over Ireland. Samantha Fuller's putt on the 15th, even though it didn't drop, would seal the victory for England. With Emma Allen winning her match against Sierra Casey 2-1, it was her partner in the morning foursomes, Elizabeth Pryor, that would take the final point of the match. She had been 2 down after 2 holes against the young Irish girl, Elisa Corcoran. A stunning approach on the 4th would set up an eagle opportunity. She duly obliged and never looked back. At the 15th, it was all over. She would take the match 4-3 and give England a 7-2 victory. Time to celebrate.
1, 2, 3, go!
So, victory for England, winning all 3 matches. No need for countback, although winning 20 out of a possible 27 matches is some feat. In the other match, Scotland would beat Wales in a tight encounter 4-3 to take 3rd spot.
The girls have really done well. exactly what we wanted. We wanted a win. We knew it was going to be a hard match even before we started this morning. So it's been, really good. The girls have done well, so I'm delighted for them and delighted for England.
And to girls come over, your reaction to the win?
Congratulations to England, the 2015 girls home international winners for the 8th time in a row. After the break, we stayed north of the border for the Girls' British Open Amateur Championship and who would take the Nicholls Trophy at the Ladies' British Open Amateur Stroke Play. The LGU and West Kilbride Golf Club were both founded in 1893. And it was West Kilbride playing host to the 2015 Girls' British Open Amateur Championship. The club is situated on the Ayrshire coast with spectacular views across the Firth of Clyde to the Isle of Arran, and is a fine example of links golf.
Well, it's been here since 1893, a long established historic links, which is a fair test of golf, but it's also, with the weather like today, it's an absolute joy to play. But can be a test in windy conditions.
The competition featured a strong field as ever, with entrants travelling from all over the world. 64 players from the field of 144 progressed from qualifying into the match play stage. The 16 players who reached the quarter-finals, all playing outstanding golf in another great year for the competition.
A very prestigious event because, as you can see, it's attracted many youngsters from all over Europe and young ladies from South Africa also. So it's pretty important to have that on their CV.
As usual, there was a strong Spanish showing at the tournament, and the girls displayed great team spirit and produced some great golf. Half of the 8 remaining players were Spanish, and Maria Parra was the first to tee off. In the end, she emerged a convincing winner over the Swede Frida Kinhult, beating her at the signature 16th hole 3-2.
I play very well this year, and I come here thinking I will win the tournament. I hope.
The second quarter final was tight, Sandra Nordas holding her putt of the 18th to force a playoff. She eventually beat Ivana Samu at the second extra hole.
On the first, we both made birdie. So yeah, we had to go to the second hole, and then I hold it for birdie, and yeah.
Spain were out in force for the third quarter-final, both supporting and playing. Marta Perez had an impressive round against fellow Spaniard Damana Viudes. Perez led for much of the round and finally closed it out on the 18th.
I'm very comfortable now at the golf course. I'm playing really well, I'm driving really well, and I feel really positive.
In the last quarter-final, Anna Paez left Alexandra Fosterling of Germany with a long putt at the 18th to stay in the competition. Her narrow miss opening the door to the semi-final for Paez.
Well, I think that I can win, but now I just want to think in the first round in the morning, and then let's see.
And then there were 4. Parra would take on Nordas, while the 2 Spaniards would contest the other semi-final. It was twice more around West Kilbride on the final day, but the weather had turned a little and some more wind promised a truer test of links golf. In the first semi-final, a long putt for par on the 5th hole proved Sandra Nordas's putting was just as steely and propelled her to 2-up in the early stages. An impressive approach at the 16th meant Nordas posted a birdie and a score of 2-up with 2 to play. However, Maria Parra rallied and won the next 2 holes. The pressure was on Parra at the first extra hole, and it was to be a lip out that saw her hopes dashed and the Norwegian progressed towards the trophy. But who would she meet? Marta Perez took the lead for the first time in her match at the 12th hole with this impressive chip. She managed to keep her grip on the lead into the 17th, where she reached the green while Ana Paez travelled from rough to rough along the left side and eventually conceded the match and a place in the final to her compatriot. So the best were left and the main event saw no drop in class. It was to be a match completely void of bogeys. Once again, Nordas was unflappable and another solid putt at the 9th gave her a commanding 3-hole advantage going into the back 9. By the 14th, Perez had piled on the pressure and was closing the gap, but a good approach gave Nordas a win and restored a lead of 2 up with 4 holes to play. The lead was reduced again as Perez took the 16th, but in the end, Nordas was unstoppable in her march toward the trophy. A fantastic approach shot from the Norwegian at the 17th forced the pressure onto Perez. And in the end, it proved too much, and the quality of Sandra Nordas won her the championship. Cue celebrations and an emotional call from her father in Norway. A fitting champion from another great event showcasing our rising stars.
Yeah, it was really good. I felt really good out there, so yeah.
These are real links near the beach with a lot of wind, so it was a great experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2015 Girls British Open Amateur Champion, Sandra Nordas.
Moortown Golf Club has played host to many golf events, its most famous being the first Ryder Cup in Britain.
The club's had a long tradition of major events, even from the first start of 1929. The club's been around since 1909, but in 29 we hosted the first Ryder Cup on British soil, the second ever to be run, right through to holding car care European Tour events in the early 80s.
This year it played host to the Ladies British Open Amateur Stroke Play Championship. In 2014 it was Megan McLaren who took the title and she was back to defend it.
It's a really good feeling. I'm trying not to think about it too much because, you know, last year was last year. It's a whole different tournament, but, you know, I'd rather be here having won it already than be here having not won it. So
she made a solid start with an opening 3 under par, one off the lead held by Switzerland's Vanessa Necht. In round 2, Gloucestershire's Bethan Popple got herself into contention as others fell away. Abby Laker would join her 1 shot off the lead at 3 under par. That would be held by the impressive Indian Aditi Ashok. The 17-year-old is already a winner on these shores, winning the prestigious St Rule Trophy at St Andrews. Rounds of 71 and 73 would see her lead the way at 4 under par.
Yeah, I played well today. I still missed, a lot of birdies that I could have, and I made 1 bogey, which, is kind of like a birdie hole, and then when you make a bogey, you lose a couple shots. But overall, I'd say I did well under the conditions.
She would be paired with Bethan Popple for the final 2 rounds, which took place on the last day. The English international struggled in round 3 to card a 2 over par 76 on this unusual par 74 layout. The round 1 leader Vanessa Necht really struggled and dropped out of contention with subsequent rounds of 79 and 78. Ireland's Olivia Mahaffey carded a 71 to put herself in the mix for the final round at 3 under. She would be joined by Swedish international Lynn Andersson, who opened her account with 2 par 74s, followed by a 3rd round 71. It was Clitheroe's Sophie Lamb that would be the highest placed Home Nations player. 2 73s for the England international was followed by a 72 to give her a 3-round total of 4 under par. But they would all be chasing the girl from Bangalore. The winner of the silver medal at the European Ladies hit the round of the day. Her 70 would give her a 3-round total of 8 under par and a 4-shot lead over the rest of the field. So the members of Moortown were being treated to some sensational golf around their tricky track.
The members have been wonderful, supportive. Volunteers, we couldn't have asked for more volunteers, and I think that's made the event run so smoothly, as well as it being such a fabulous course presented in a wonderful condition.
The pairings would stay the same going into the final round. Sophie Lamb, second going into the last round, fell away with a 79, but would earn herself a top 10 finish thanks to that third round 72. There would be no defence of the title for Megan McLaren. With rounds of 71, 76, 73 and 75, she put up a great defence of her title and would earn a credible top 5 finish. Lynn Anderson shot a healthy 75, 1 over par, which included 2 double bogeys for outright third at 2 under. 2 closing rounds of 71 would elevate the prodigious Irish talent Olivia Mahaffey to outright second place at 6 under par. But the Indian girl Aditi Ashok would leave them all in her wake, as a proud mum and dad looked on. A closing round 71 to follow up her third round 70 would see her 7 under for the final day. In the end, it would be a formidable total of 11 under par and a 5-shot victory. Surely a star of the future and the first Indian winner of one of the most prestigious amateur titles in the world. Make no mistake, 11 under around this track is no mean feat, with only 5 players breaking par.
I'd say the biggest. I mean, the silver medal in Austria at the European Ladies, that was pretty good, but this win is the first time I've won on LGU, so yeah, I'm very pleased.
Congratulations to Aditi Ashok, the 2015 Ladies British Open Amateur Champion. That's it for this month. Congratulations to England on another fantastic victory in the girls' home internationals, and to Sandra Nordas and Aditi Ashok on their wins in August. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at Ladies Golf Union and keep up to date with all the news at lgu.org. Until next time, it's bye for now.